Hey guys, Jared Barnes here, and from Utah. I'm going to be talking about the Garmin GTN 750. This is a GPS navigation source with COM and MFD. It's a pretty cool system. Um, the specifications on it are it weighs 9.3 pounds, so not a lot to add to, your overall empty weight of the aircraft. It's a 10 to 16 watt system, so won't be too much of a burden on the battery, but it is a bit of a burden. It has a lot of databases, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but it has American, international, worldwide databases, along with the optional Jeppesen chart view, up to 99 flight plans with up to 100 waypoints each, terrain and obstacle databases, and then it's also WAS capable, which is really nice these days, shooting those approaches. It also has compatibility with Class B TAWS alerting, and then a 2-year warranty on it, so if there's any issues with that, you do have that time to work out all the bugs. Pricing on this, Garmin says that the MSRP is $17,495. You can get it from a dealer for $14,579. So seems like it's a lot like the car business in that the dealer doesn't really overcharge you. And then you also have the additional cost of labor, which is about a total of $18,095. This comes with the basic harness for a home-built experimental aircraft. Wasn't able to get too far into it. I'm sure that every aircraft is different in terms of the labor and what it costs to get that all installed. Some of the major features and benefits. I'm a car guy, so this is what I'm all about. It has a 6.9-inch diagonal display, like I said before. It's a pretty nice display. The biggest thing and my favorite part is the touch screen. That is a huge thing for me. I think that in some ways the G1000 is a bit outdated, just because you've still got buttons and it's still pretty confusing to work with. We had to just take a whole course on how to use the G1000. It does have fast navigation map zooming, which is really nice. It redraws that map really quickly so that you can get back to what you are wanting to do rather than waiting for it to do that. It also has a large database, which is super helpful for in-flight planning. Obviously, we want to do our pre-flight in the beginning, but obviously while we're in flight, things change. It has a full IFR suite with easy flight planning. You can easily load departures, arrivals, and approach procedures. And like I said, it's WAS equipped. You do have a lot of remote add-ons that you can add. You have an intercom that you can add for the plane, Mode C transponder, ADS-B, and the autopilot. It's autopilot compatible. You can access most functions within 2 touches, which is super helpful, to keep a workload down. You also have the XM radio and weather subscriptions, as well as the Jeppesen chart view subscription, which adds even more to your navigation. Some of the major benefits of this, the pros, is an easy keypad interface for quick data entry. No more, you can, but you don't have to use the knobs to manually type everything in, which is it drives me crazy about the G1000. You can do an easy flight plan entry, like I said before. With that, and I'll talk about it a little bit more, but you have a graphical flight plan that you can actually edit, graphically through just the default navigation page. You also have that graphical intercom system that I talked about. The clean screen mode is kind of cool. It locks the screen so you can actually clean the darn thing. If you get some glares in flight or anything, without messing up anything or causing any issues. Obviously, you want to make sure that screen is clean before you head out, but you never know. You can also set up a minimum runway length setup or minimum runway length for your aircraft, which is super nice. In case it's kind of just that extra fail safe in case you accidentally start to load an airport in an airport in where the runways are a little short. You are able to select and load frequencies direct from the database without manually entering them, which is really nice. Just another thing that decreases that workload. And then you get easy access to weather and information and NextRad. I really could only find 2 cons about this. There's only one built-in comm radio by default, so you have to purchase the second one. And so that can be a little bit annoying. And then you can't display both terrain and NextRad at the same time. So you do have to switch between those two. Kind of is one thing that you have to worry about. My impressions of this system is it's super easy to use. I've never used it before, but I watched an overview. The YouTube video is in the references, and it's just super easy to set up and get your flight plans going and get your navigation going without too much of a headache. The touchscreen, like I said before, is much needed in the aircraft. You're in aviation. One thing I want to add is that if your hands are getting bumped down around or anything, you do have lips on the side that allow you to anchor your hand so that you're not having to fight with that. You do have a simulator app as well. It's super nice. So you don't have to drain your battery or run the engine to practice. Then you also have mobile interfacing, so you can listen to music, take phone calls, and stay connected without increasing your workload. And some other impressions, that easy intercom is super nice. So the co-pilot or the person that's sitting in the co-pilot seat can easily talk to the passengers without disturbing the co-pilot or the pilot. In major parts of the flight. I like this clean screen mode. I don't know why that's such a big deal for me, but I really like it. I don't like that you can't display all the information on the one navigation screen. I think that's a little odd to me, but you can't do everything. And then the flight planning is super easy. That graphical editing, you can actually just go to your default navigation page and edit edit your flight plan so you can drag your route to a different waypoint. In conclusion, I think the GTN 750 is a great system. It's a perfect mid-level GPS system if you can't go completely glass, but it's very expensive. I mean, it costs about the amount that it would cost to get a decent little car, so that's a big issue. But you do have that higher level of safety and workload reduction that's going to be well worth the investment. If I had a plane, I'd probably put it in there. Here are the references. And thank you so much. I hope you learned something. And hopefully you get the chance to take a look at that GTN 750 for yourself. Thanks a lot.